Hello, hello, hello. So, this is the What the Heck is Going On series. And first of all, it's very sad that a plane was shot down over Iran. I have no idea why that happened. Um, who knows? It says, and this is a very important lesson in life and very important idea. It says that God uses good people for good missions and bad people for bad missions. So let's just take a moment to discuss this. Let's say somebody needs $100. If I may use myself, I was at the Rebbe's graveside and there was a guy there and he told me he was in debt, this and that. And so I gave him $50. So now, what was the chance that I happened to be there and that guy? Not very good. Perhaps, I don't know. If you do it statistically, it may even be like a 1 in a million chance. I don't live there. But the thing is that obviously, as we know, everything is pre-designed. We also know that we don't know the design. So how do the two things work together? Well, God pre-designed that I would be there and we would have a conversation, and based on my financial situation and my heart, I would give him the money. And so that was a design. Now, I'm not like saying that I'm the big philanthropist. Many times I'm the taker. But the point is that who's God going to use to give to me? Somebody also that's obviously he's got the finances and he wants to give it. So the flip side is, unfortunately, somebody asked me a question today. He said that in Buddhism, suffering is the meaning of life, which I have a disciple who's a Buddhist, and she's a very clever doctor, etc. And she did mention to me this idea that Buddhism believes that everyone's suffering. So I said, it's just not true. I'm living in America. I'm not suffering. And I said to him, which I believe is true, is that most suffering actually comes from anxiety. And if you look at the statistics, certainly in America, I don't know about other countries, but there's only 25% of the population max has anxiety. So that means 75% of the population are not suffering. So if that's the case, Buddhism is wrong. Its whole principle, everything it stands for, is wrong. So why do I say this? I say this because he asked me, what does Judaism say about suffering? So I said, first of all, suffering is not good. Second of all, and this is very important, everything God does, he does for a reason. Now, obviously, if you're suffering, may God heal you, and may you never suffer, and may nobody suffer. Suffering is horrible. However, there is a very important idea behind suffering, which I saw from the Alter Rebbe, one of our great masters. And basically, he says that we suffer in order to make us humble. To have a normal, functional, healthy soul, mind, you need to be humble. A person who's arrogant, one of the most famous Jewish teachings is 3 things cause us to lose our mind. Number 1, jealousy. People that are jealous will do crazy things. Number 2, desire. Somebody that's addicted will do crazy things. And 3, honor. When a person thinks that they're great, they'll do crazy things to kind of maintain their honor, and they really think they're better than others, etc., etc. So to be a good person, you have to be humble. Now, obviously, you need an ego. You need a sense of self. But if your sense of self is that you're greater than others, which there's a natural predilection to do that, and it's very easy to fall into, I remember seeing an interview with this rock star, and he was abusive to his wife, and he said something, he said like just the intention and the money and everything, it got to his head. So effectively, the Alter Rebbe gives us a mechanism, and it's very, very important, because the Rebbe Rashab was a great mystic, he was very on target, he always said what's the truth. He says that God will make us humble, and the way to become humble without suffering is you have to humble yourself. And the way you do that is you have to remind yourself, you should do it once a night, and remind yourself of everything stupid and bad that you did. And maybe you're some kind of saint, but I know my list would be really long. And so if you do this once a night before you go to sleep, obviously afterwards ask God for forgiveness and believe that he's forgiven you and feel better. But just that exercise, it shows you, because what is arrogance? Arrogance is I'm the greatest. So suddenly I'm not so great. I'm not the great person I think I am. And so this is a very, very important technique. And so ultimately, may we see, and I believe it's coming very soon, the Mashiach, and may we then live eternally in joy and happiness.